Have you ever told yourself, "I'm just lazy"? You plan to study. You plan to exercise. You plan to start that project. But instead, you watched videos, scrolled social media, or did absolutely nothing. And then came the guilt, the frustration, the feeling that something must be wrong with you. But what if you're not actually lazy? What if your brain is simply following its programming? Today, we're going to look at the psychology of laziness and why the problem might not be what you think. The word lazy sounds simple, but psychologists often see it differently. Because laziness isn't usually the root problem. It's often a symptom, a signal, a clue that something deeper is happening. When a car won't start, you don't blame the car. You look for the reason. Maybe the battery is dead. Maybe the engine has a problem. The same idea applies to human behavior. Here's something surprising. Your brain is designed to save energy. Thousands of years ago, energy was precious. Humans had to hunt for food, avoid predators, survive harsh conditions. Wasting energy could be dangerous. So the brain evolved to prefer easier options whenever possible. That's why scrolling social media feels easier than studying. That's why lying in bed feels easier than exercising. Your brain isn't trying to ruin your life. It's trying to conserve effort. Scene 4. The instant reward trap. Now let's talk about rewards. Your brain loves immediate rewards. Social media gives rewards instantly. Video games give rewards instantly. Entertainment gives rewards instantly. But studying? Working out? Learning a skill? Those rewards come much later. And your brain often struggles to choose the delayed reward over the immediate one. Sometimes laziness isn't laziness at all. It's fear. Imagine you want to start a business, or launch a YouTube channel, or prepare for a difficult exam. The goal feels enormous. So enormous that your brain decides it's safer to avoid it entirely. You call yourself lazy. But the real problem might be fear of failure, or fear of not being good enough. Another common cause is overwhelm. When a task feels too large, your brain doesn't know where to begin. So instead of taking action, it freezes. Think about cleaning an entire messy room. The task feels huge, so you delay it. But if someone says, "Just pick up 5 items," suddenly it feels manageable. Many people believe they need motivation before they take action. But psychology shows the opposite often happens. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Think about exercise. You rarely feel motivated before starting. But after a few minutes, energy increases. Motivation appears. Waiting for motivation can become a trap. Modern technology makes this even harder. Every notification, every video, every scroll provides tiny bursts of dopamine. The brain starts expecting constant stimulation. And suddenly, normal tasks feel boring by comparison. Reading a book can't compete with endless entertainment. Homework can't compete with infinite scrolling. Your brain adapts to the easier reward. One of the most dangerous things you can do is repeatedly tell yourself, "I'm lazy," because eventually, you start believing it. And when something becomes part of your identity, you act accordingly. Instead of saying, "I'm lazy," try saying, "I'm struggling with this task right now." One describes who you are. The other describes a temporary situation. Psychologists often recommend making tasks ridiculously small. Want to read? Read 1 page. Want to exercise? Do 1 push-up. Want to study? Study for 2 minutes. The goal isn't progress. The goal is starting. Because starting is usually the hardest part. Once you begin, momentum takes over. A 2-minute study session becomes 20 minutes. 1 push-up becomes a workout. 1 paragraph becomes a chapter. The hardest part is overcoming the brain's resistance to starting. So here's the truth. Most people aren't lazy. They're distracted, overwhelmed, fearful, exhausted, or trapped by habits. Understanding the real reason matters. Because you can't solve a problem if you're diagnosing it incorrectly. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I'm lazy," pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what's actually stopping me? Is it fear? Overwhelm? Distraction? Lack of energy? The answer might surprise you. Because laziness is often not the disease. It's the symptom. And once you understand the psychology behind it, you can finally start moving forward. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more stickman videos about psychology, habits, and self-improvement. And tell me in the comments, what's one thing you've been putting off recently?